Let's go. Oh, all right. So we are live, day number 2 of the Hangathon. Welcome, guys. So if you are watching the replay, a couple of things. Number one, in the description, there's going to be a link to jasonwhaling.com where you can download some of the things that we're going to be using in this particular video. You can access that in the Aspire notebook, and you'll be able to essentially get access to a lot of the templates and different headline formulas that we're going to be going over in this video. If you're just joining for the first time, this is day 2 of the Hangathon, and what we're doing today is going over how to essentially write your video so people are engaged and actually want to continue to keep watching your video. So we're going to go through some headline titles. We're also going to go through how to structure your content, and also video hooks and open loops to get people to not only to continue to watch past the first, 30 seconds. So if you're in here, I think I have chat working this time. So go ahead and let me know that you're here, where you're tuning in from. And then also please let me know if you have any questions as we go through this process. I'm just going to kind of stall for a couple minutes to let a few more people in. And if you're watching the replay of this, there's going to be a, what do we call that? Table of contents, where you'll be able to go and kind of skip through the video, because we're going to have, some parts where I'm going to pause and answer questions. And of course, then there's this intro that if you're watching the replay isn't going to be all that valuable to you right now. So it looks like we have a couple people coming in here. Let me just make sure that my chat is working correctly this time today, and then we'll be able to go ahead, dive in, and get started here. So let me go ahead, make sure everything's working just fine. We Grab Talk Media, thumbs up, thank you. Glad you can hear me. Let me just get my chat working on my main computer here. For some reason, it's only showing up on the side, and then we'll get going. Come on, man. All right. Well, at least I can see your chats this time, because yesterday I completely missed them. So I don't know why it gave me so much grief. Oh, this is embarrassing. Come on. Live control room. This is very strange. I can see your live chats on my other computer, but they're not showing up in my dashboard here. So give me another 90 seconds and I'll try and figure this out, and if not, then we're just going to go ahead and get started. There's the chat. Okay, there we go. That's weird. Okay, thank you for joining. All right, awesome. Okay, spelled joining wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead, get started, and so we'll do a quick run through of what we did yesterday. We'll spend about a couple minutes on that, and then we'll just go ahead and dive in. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen now. If I can get back to the proper tab here, we're just going to share the entire screen, and we'll run through the research process here. So this is the Aspire notebook where you can get access to everything. And as you go through the series, if you miss any days, there will be all of the videos and content will be uploaded here, so you'll be able to access that. So yesterday we talked about content research, and a quick 90-second overview. What's really important with the content research is essentially making sure that you choose a relevant keyword. So in this particular series and example, we're talking about time blocking. And so I just pulled up some search queries here to show you the differences, time blocking, the one thing, which is what we're going to focus on today. And then you have time blocking hacks, time blocking tips. All of these represent different videos that you could be making. The topics will be similar. However, it's important to remember that each essentially search term represents a different video that you could be doing. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the process for writing the actual video itself. So I'm just going to go through an overview, a couple of things in terms of user intent, and then we'll dive into the details here. So the overview of this phase is you have to remember that you pretty much have 8 seconds to grab someone's attention when they're coming to your video. According to Microsoft, other sources say it's anywhere from 10 to 15, but essentially the first 30 seconds of your video, it's really important that you focus on there we go, back, that you focus on hooking the viewer and giving them a reason to stay. So essentially you see here the formula is one keyword, what we talked about yesterday, one video, one result, one call to action. Those last three are what we're going to talk about today. And so based upon your content calendar that you developed in the first video, you'll be figuring out, which video you want to kind of follow along with this process. So this blown up, let's take it down a little bit so it's not so blurry. So there we go, it fits. So this is the video content outline. So your video starts out with the video hook, then you open a loop, you deliver the content, you close the loop, and then you have a call to action. It's really that simple. And so we'll walk through each step of this process essentially right now in this video. So this is pretty much what we're going to be spending the next 20 to 30 minutes on. Now, what's really important before you even write your headline is thinking about the user intention. And we talked about a little bit about this a little bit when we were doing the research, but really what's really important when it comes to creating and writing your video is ensuring that you are on the same page as whoever's coming to the video. So for this particular instance, there's one question you really want to be asking, and that is, why did they click on your video? Or put another way, what is the result they're looking for? Because one video, one keyword, one result. And so you really want to hone in and focus on what do you want your viewer to be able to do when they're done watching your video. And of course, I'm talking about a content video, not necessarily relationship vlog style videos, although you can apply this principle to vlogs as well and just add even more value to your vlog outside of just showing a day in the life of whatever niche you're in. And so with this question comes a second part, which is the user experience level. And this is essentially making sure that not only are you focused on delivering one result for your video, why are people clicking, but you're also keeping in mind how essentially proficient they are in terms of the results you're offering, right? So is this a video for beginners? Are they intermediate? Are they advanced? In a notebook, I'll actually link to a video that video creators did, where he talked about how he found that a lot of his best performing content was essentially the basics, because he talks about helping people grow their YouTube channel. And on the continuum of basic to mastery, in terms of almost any niche, there's that period of time where you don't really see a lot of progress and it's really, really hard and a lot of people drop off. And so it's important to remember not only what is the results you're delivering, but where in the process is the person that you're talking to in the video. Because the type of video that you would make for a beginner would be very different for someone who's already maybe failed a couple times trying the basics, and you're just giving kind of an update video to, hey, you may have tried this, you may have tried that, try this instead, versus an advanced video where they've achieved a certain result already and you're helping them get to the next level. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to refresh my page over here to make sure that I'm not missing any comments, because this thing is, wow, it is really, really slow. Okay, so nope. Okay, so here we go. The first part of your content writing process is your video headline. And as we talked about in the first video, you're going to have one keyword. You did your research, so hopefully by this point, you know at least what keyword you want. If you're not quite sure what your keyword is going to be yet, that's okay. These formulas and examples are going to make a whole lot of sense in a minute. Now, I'm going to add a disclaimer here that when it comes to copywriting is definitely not my forte or my strong suit. So a lot of my headlines are very, very practical. You can get a lot more creative with your headlines and be a lot more enticing and speaking to your users in a much more, I should say, I don't want to say authentic way, but a much more creative way. Let's just go with creative, because I tend to err on the analytical side versus creative. So with your headline, it needs to do two things. First, your headline is designed to tell YouTube what the heck your video is and help it rank. The second thing you want your headline to do is to entice the viewer to click, to tease the result that they're going to get. And as a bonus, if you're able to add a descriptor as to what the video is, or you're able to call out what user experience level they're at in the title as well. That's just kind of like a nice bonus. So I'm going to go over here to show you guys how this works live, and then I'll just rapid fire through a bunch of examples. I literally just pulled a bunch of examples from the last like 10 videos that I posted, but you'll see here time blocking tips. All of these, with the exception of this video right here, all have time blocking in the title. You'll see my title has time blocking tips, time blocking, and time management strategy. The one thing for time blocking, we can go over here. Let's see if we can get these are actually all going to give you the same, pretty much the same thing. But you'll see here that these top results all have the core keyword, which is time blocking in it. The reason that you're seeing the same couple of videos change with each search result is that's YouTube changing what video they put on top based upon what comes after time blocking. So the person who's looking for time blocking hacks isn't necessarily the same person that's looking for time blocking tips. And I know as a content creator, you go hacks, tips, it's the same thing, but there's a different psyche for someone who types in hacks and types in tips. And so those are two different audiences that could be spoken to or targeted, which is why there's different videos showing up on the top here. Okay, so enough on that. Let's go into some examples here. So what I've done is for YouTube SEO, the best way to do it is to have the keyword in the front of your title. So you're going to see that a lot here in these titles. Then you have the engaging headline element. This is kind of that creative side that speaks to the user and what they really want to achieve in the result. And then the descriptor I'll get to in a second here. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, so anyway, so here we go. On the left-hand side, you see the target keyword. I'm not going to go through all of these because you can always go back and pause the video. I don't want to bore you here. You can see on the left-hand side the keyword, and then you can see how I've integrated the keyword. I've highlighted the keyword into the title. And you can see that even though these are all different topics and very different videos, it follows a very similar formula. So for example, let's go to work hours right here. So this video was about ideal work hours. So what did I do? I put ideal work hours, which is for YouTube. The highlighted section is for YouTube. And then I just put a question. How many hours should you work? Well, if someone's typing in ideal work hours, I'm assuming based upon the research that I did and the style of content that I have, that this is the question that they want to answer. So I'm just telling them straight up, this is the question that's going to be answered in this video. Let's scroll down here. What's another good one? So optimize press membership site tutorial. Now, that's the keyword that I wanted to go after. So obviously it's a membership site, it's a tutorial. This is much more of a straightforward one. And then I say for beginners. I don't say intermediate. I don't say advanced tips. I don't say advanced strategies. I say for beginners. So I'm calling out that user experience level right there. And then I say complete membership site creation guide. And that's just another descriptor of what they're going to get when they click on the video. Down here, time blocking mastery. Again, just the core keyword, be more productive. That's it. That's about as straightforward as you can get with why do you want to master time blocking? Well, they probably want to master it because they want to be more productive. So I'm saying in terms of the user intention and the result that I hope to deliver to them in the video, I'm saying be more productive. That's what watch this video, be more productive. That's exactly what I'm saying here. And then in the parentheses, this is something that you can play with using parentheses and brackets, as you can see up here with warning. I like using brackets for warnings or scam alert. That seems to do pretty well, but I use those sparingly because I don't want people coming to my channel being like, wow, this guy just says warning and spam or scam all the time. So definitely be sparring with how you use those brackets. But the parentheses at the end is a great way to add a descriptor, or if you don't really have grammatically, you can't kind of fit another descriptor in, then this is a great way to say something else that they might get. So printable PDF and Excel template. This particular, oh gosh, keep unplugging it. Sorry guys, one second, plug this back in. And in this particular instance, printable PDF and Excel template, I just saw that was an easy way for me to add some extra keywords to the title while it still made sense. Without being super long. So again, these headline examples will be in the Aspire notebook eventually, so you can go through them. Hopefully those couple of examples made sense. Go ahead, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'm watching my dashboard on the other computer laptop I have here. So I will more than happy pause and clarify anything that I'm going through. And as a bonus down here, I'm not going to dive too deep into this particular one, but this is just another way you can kind of put together your headlines, 5 simple techniques for doubling your webinar landing page. Here, you just have a number, a strong adjective, a power word, and then the result that they get. And I have some sample words for you here to see how you can kind of just slap them together. So like 3 fast tactics for ranking your YouTube SEO, ranking your videos better, or 7 simple secrets to, weight loss today without working out in the gym or something like that. Obviously, you want to make sure that whatever claims you're making are real, but there you go. So that does it for the video headline. So now what I want to do is get into the video hook, or the introduction to the video. So this is actually what you're going to say in the video. Now in the Aspire Notebook, I have quite a few hook formulas. I'm only going to go over one, and then I'm going to show you an example of one here of the sample video that we're doing. So the hook intro, the whole point is to say, hey, here's who I am. Here's the value proposition of the video is why you should continue to watch this, and then add a video graphic to kind of, if your video includes B-rolls or graphics or something other than just a talking head, then definitely include that in the first 20 to 30 seconds. So you tell viewers to expect some sort of interactions or some extra stuff on top of just some person sitting in front of a webcam or a camera recording. All right, talking fast, T to save my voice. Okay, so the credible introduction is essentially a quick sentence. Let me blow this up a little more because we're just looking at text. That can make it a little easier to read. All right. Yeah, so the images, I need to do a higher resolution, but these guys are working just fine. So your credible introduction, this is super simple. Hey guys, hey everyone, hey, nerds, or hey fitness, junkies or whatever. If you have an audience identifier, then you could do that. There's some tech shows that I watch that just say, hey techies, or hey geeks, or hey nerds, so make sure that if you're using an audience identifier, that it really actually represents your audience and you're not alienating people that you actually want to connect with. So most of the time I just say, hey everyone, or what's up guys. Who am I? Hey everyone, Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur or digital marketing consultant, and that's it. Just move on with the video and go straight into your hook, which is the value proposition. There are some YouTubers who really like having a longer intro, essentially trying to establish themselves as credible. But what I like to do, and what I think is much better, is they clicked on the video because they want a result. So just go ahead and give them the result and demonstrate that you're worth listening to by answering the questions that they have in their head. There's no need to tell them why you're important or why you should listen to them. Just dive straight into the facts and let the facts and the value of your content speak for you. I mean, action always speaks louder than words, so just dive straight into action, deliver what they want. And if you actually deliver on what they're looking for, you provide the results that they're looking for in the video, then that's how you get the trust. You don't have to say like, here's 20 million reasons why you need to trust me. So I'm going to go through one hook formula, which is the promise, proof, tease. And so I'm going to run through this example, and then I'm going to briefly show you how each one of these, what you have in the Aspire, the resources you have in the Aspire notebook will allow you to come up with 2 to 3 of these. And so what I want you guys to know before we dive into all these formulas, there's a lot on this page, but what's important is you only need to choose like 1 to 3 of them. I use the same formula every time. And the reason I do this is because I don't want to sound like a robot. You don't want to sound scripted at the beginning of your video. You want to sound personable. So you want to have a plug and play formula for all of your videos. You choose like 1 to 3 that you kind of cycle through and just stick to those, because those you'll be able to become natural with what you're talking about, and you'll get really comfortable with it, and it won't sound like a really robotic voice. So I'll run through this one, and then I'll break down the 3 steps we have here. So the example we have here is, in this video, you're going to learn a simple 5-step content creation strategy that allows you to double the number of videos you post to your YouTube channel. In fact, this is, excuse me, horrible time to burp. Okay. In fact, 5-step Live stream problems, right? In fact, this 5-step content creation strategy allowed me to post 7 videos a week without breaking a sweat. And in this video, you'll learn how to use this simple 5-step content creation strategy to dramatically reduce the amount of time it takes to produce high quality videos for your channel. Okay, bam, that's it. So right there, the first sentence was a promise. This is what I'm going to give to you. And the second sentence was proof. This is what it's done for me. This is what it's done for other people. This is why it's so powerful. This is where you could throw in a statistic. And then tease, this is what you're going to be able to do by the end of the video. 1, 2, 3, done. That's it. That's all you need for your hook formula. And so there are a couple ways you can do this in the Aspire notebook. I know I keep saying that, but I keep saying that because I want to run through these as quickly as possible and give you just a brief overview of how to use all of these formulas that I'm giving you so you can take your own time and create your own. Because really, these aren't hard and fast templates. These are just suggestions. It's like I'm giving you Play-Doh or mold. You choose the colors, you choose which parts of the mold you want, and you make your own sculpture, okay? You don't have to, copy and paste these verbatim. So the first sentence is the promise. In this video, you're going to learn. And so there are a couple ways you can start the video. You can say, in this video, you're going to learn, I'm going to show you, you're going to discover, or you can go the myth route and say, I'm going to debunk or expose the lies behind, pull back the curtain, take you inside. You kind of get the gist here. And so once you have that first sentence, then you have a blank where you say, in this video, I'm going to expose the lies behind YouTube SEO and tell you about why you should never, XYZ. And then you might fill in with a common myth or common misconception about the topic that you're talking about. And so you can see here that these columns, you have the sentence, you have the fill in the blank, you have the next word or piece of the sentence, and then you have the fill in the blank. And on top of each one of these tables, there are examples of how these all string together. And you can see I have a lot for each step. And then I also have some power phrases down here, a lot for each step. I'm just scrolling because we're not gonna spend time going through every single one here. And what's really cool is in the Aspire notebook, I actually have another formula where you do secret, result, proof. This is something that I've picked up from other people, but I don't personally use just because it doesn't really fit my personality or my channel. So I just don't use it. But here's kind of an example of how it goes. There's a little known secret. There's a little known SEO research strategy I've been using behind the scenes to quickly rank YouTube videos, even though I have a small channel. And so that's the first part and the second part. And when you leverage this strategy, you'll be able to get more views, likes, and comments to your videos. In fact, once I started using this SEO research strategy, my video rankings shot through the roof. It was like YouTube wanted my videos to be on the top of every search result. So that last part is a little is a little bit of a big promise, but you kind of get the point here. You can tell that we're doing the same thing. We're just doing it in a different order. So we started off with a secret. We're letting you know, hey, guess what? There's a little thing that you don't know that this group of savvy people are using or that I'm using to get this result. And here's the result that you're going to get when you use this secret little thing that I'm about to tell you about. And here's the proof of why the secret is so powerful. So you can see it's pretty similar to the first formula, just using a little bit different verbiage. And it's important to recognize what verbiage you're most comfortable saying, and you think the verbiage that's going to connect most with your audience. And so I'm going to actually go over to, oh, that is not what I wanted to do. I'm actually going to go over to Camtasia here. Now, I'm assuming that the audio is going to come through for you guys. I hope it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play this video so you can see how all of this plays out in live. So let's actually go to the video and we'll run through this process right now. Let me just put in my earphones here so I make sure that the audio is coming through. So we'll watch how this kind of looks in a live example. Okay, so obviously you can see that there were some elements, and this is why I chose this example. I didn't use any of those verbatim, right? I did talk about what the video was going to be about, and then I actually had my proof or value proposition in the open loop, which is what we'll actually get to. But you can see that that one was actually, based upon what I just showed you, that was kind of a weak intro. And that's okay. Not all of your videos are going to have a perfect intro. And this is why I say it's kind of like I'm giving you Play-Doh or clay, and you just kind of have to mold and work with it. And you know what? There were some cuts. Let's go back really quick. So tomorrow you're actually going to be going through this, but you can see I actually did the intro 4 different times. Some of the other times I was able to get all the elements in there, but it came off a little robotic, or I made a mistake, or it just didn't sound as good or punchy as, the version that I ultimately chose, which happened to be the last one. And so that does it for your video hook. Again, there's a lot of content to work with in the Aspire Notebook. And I also have some additional hook formula 2. Oh, I repeated one. Okay, so I'll have to take that out. So now that you have your hook, you've hooked your viewer. Now, optionally, you can give them an option or a reason to stay with your video. Again, if you have any questions as we're going through this, please go ahead and let me know in the chat section there, and I will go ahead and pause and reply to them, of course. So I'll just check the chat real quick. Okay, there we go. Yes, okay, thank you. All right, so video loop. So once you've hooked your viewer, you've said, hey, this is a really cool thing that I have for you. This is why it works so well, and this is how you're going to be able to leverage it to, work for yourself. Comes the optional open loop. And as you saw with the example that we just saw, I said, and plus, when you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to share 4 tips on XYZ, something about time blocking. So that's a way to increase your audience retention, because when someone's clicked your video, the video hook is essentially connecting them with the result that they looked for clicking the video. So they went to YouTube, they searched for something, your headline popped up saying, hey, you're going to get this. They said, oh, that sounds pretty cool. They clicked on your video. The first 20 seconds, again, you said, hey, you're going to get exactly what the headline and thumbnail said you were going to get. And that's how we stay away from clickbait. And by the way, here's the results that you're going to have by completing this video. So up until this point, we haven't actually introduced anything new. There's nothing new that we've introduced to people unless you use the secret introduction. And so now we're introducing something new. We're saying, hey, you're going to get everything you asked for, and guess what? You're going to get something else. And that something else is how we open a loop. And so the loop normally starts with the ending of the hook, which is why this matters part, where you see here. And then we tease a reward at the end of the video. So I think I've fumbled up enough about that. So we'll just go ahead and dive in. So optionally, you can have a why this matters as a bridge between the proof that you talked about in your hook and then the loop that you're about to open. So in our particular example, we just finished talking about why and how it's so important that you use the YouTube SEO strategies of the video that they're about to watch. And then you can kind of add a additional sentence if you want, saying, and it's really vital, and you identify the group that they are a part of. So this is the only part of the hook formula where you really can identify the user experience level. So again, you can see how we're talking about user intent in the hook. The user experience level is here. So if you're talking to beginners, or you're talking to intermediates, or you're talking to advanced who maybe failed at something in the past, or they've tried something in the past, this is really why this matters. You can really call out to that. So I'm going to go through at least 2 examples here really quick off the top of my head. So you can see here, the first example we have is, this is critical to you as a small YouTube. Oh gosh. Anyway, this is critical to you as a small YouTuber, because small channels, 30 to 40% of your views will come from YouTube search. Obviously, I do a better grammar check before I actually go through and do that. That's kind of embarrassing. So anyway, if you're not targeting small channels, maybe you're targeting mid-sized channels, you'd say this is critical to you as a mid-sized channel, because even though you're getting results from your suggested videos, search is actually still really important and can account for 10 to 20% of your views or whatever. So you just take the percentage down. Obviously, don't make these numbers up. These numbers are actually real. Small channels, 30 to 40% of our views do come from search, right? And so that's an example of a bridge. I'm not spending too much time on that because it's not super important and it's not super critical to, your success and what you're doing. And so really what you want to get into is opening the loop with a tease. And so the best way to do this is just and when you stick around to the end, you either talk about a common mistake or misconception or myth. You're going to debunk something. That's my favorite way to go. And when you're doing those tips, and the reason why I like going that route is because you want to make it super clear. This is so important when you're doing this loop, is you want to make sure that the loop is an actual bonus. The loop could be taken out of the video and the video wouldn't lose any value to the viewer. So that's how much important it is that the loop that you open with the bonus or the mistake that people need to avoid needs to be a legitimate bonus or add-on to the video content. Because if you say, and when you stick around to the end, you'll learn about the 4 things you need are critically important to ranking your YouTube video, the user's going to take a step back. They're going to go, wait, I clicked, you just said that you were going to talk about all these wonderful things about YouTube SEO and how I'm going to rank my video. Why are you telling me that I have to wait till the end for the 4 tips that talk about the thing that I really wanted, as opposed to, and when you stick around to the end, you'll discover let me repeat. And as opposed to saying plus, when you stick around to the end, I'll reveal the number 1 mistake when it comes to implementing the YouTube SEO things you're going to learn in this video, or some common YouTube SEO misconceptions. That way, when you frame it as something that they're a mistake, which is why I have so many negative avoid statements for you to copy in the Aspire notebook, it makes it really clear that it's something bonus and it's something else you can get. But as you saw with the video example I had for you guys that I just did with this particular time blocking video, I just had 4 bonus time blocking tips in addition to my review of the one thing system. And that kind of worked because the point of the video was the one thing version of time blocking. If the video was just about time blocking, I would not have said, and 4 tips to really supercharge your time blocking, because really I should have just included those 4 tips with the time blocking explanation. But because the video is a review of a specific system, it doesn't necessarily include my personal take. And so I hope that makes sense and that wasn't too much repeating here. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the comments again, make sure that we aren't freezing here. And oops, okay. Let's go back to my content dashboard. All right, so we're still good to go. Less people than yesterday. That's okay. All right, so then finally, once we have those, we've hooked the viewer, we've opened a loop. Now we are ready for the content outline. And so the content outline itself this is simply where you actually deliver the content. You deliver the value that you're going to be delivering. This is the result. I'm fumbling over myself here. So this is the result. The best way I like to do this, and I'll show you an example here of what this looks like in my writing, is I start 10 to 15 minutes. I just do a brain dump of everything that I think would be good in the video. And then I organize the content into something that would be easy for me to reference during the video. For me personally, as you can tell, as I'm going through this process, you can tell that I like being pretty detailed with my overviews, because coming up with things on the fly is not my strength. And so I'm pretty detailed with my content outlines. If you're one of those people who can just look at a title or, jot down 10 things in 10 minutes and then do the video and record it, more power to you. Go for it. So this really is as much or as little as you need to be successful with your recording, and make sure that you're not spending 20 or 30 minutes recording a 5-minute video. And of course, in the next live stream, we'll be talking about video editing and how you're going to actually use this video outline in your video editing to really speed up the production and editing process. And so once you spend 10 to 15 minutes, there's kind of three different phases to your content delivery. So the first phase is the introduction foundation. And so this is anything they need to know in order to follow the steps or be successful with what you're about to explain to do. And so this can be facts, this can be basics. Now, if you need to spend more than a minute to 90 seconds on this particular part, then you probably want to rethink how you're structuring the video, because you either want to be targeting people who are beginners, or you want to be targeting people who are intermediate or advanced. Because if you try and do both, you're really going to split your audience in terms of who you're targeting with the video. The intermediate people are going to get annoyed that you're spending so much time on the basics, and they're going to leave. And then because you're doing such a brief overview, the beginner people are going to wind up leaving because they go, oh, wow, this guy's just going way too fast through stuff. And I've actually had comments and seen this happen on my own videos, which is why I keep going back to where is the user experience level. So you start with the content, the foundation, the introduction, then you just go into the content steps. Now, if you're not doing a step-by-step tutorial, like a bullet list 1, 2, 3, 4, then this is just the 3 to 5 main points you have for the video, bullet outline. And then you have your core content closing, and this can be a quick summary, and I mean a really quick summary because your video is probably less than 20 minutes. So they're most likely going to remember most of it. And with optimization, you can always tell them, hey, you can go back anytime to different parts in a table of contents, kind of like what I did at the beginning of this, versus just doing summaries on summaries while you're going through a bunch of content. So, oh gosh, wrong order. Okay, here we go. So we're going to minimize that, and I'm going to show you an example here. There we go. So here is an example of the one thing time blocking video that we just watched. So you can see here, I have my intro value proposition, then I have why this matters, and the open loop. And this is all I have to go off of. So I generally plan on having a pause after the first 20 to 30 seconds of my video, just so I can really focus and get this out. Then we have the content topic. These first paragraphs, this is part of my brain dump that I had that and I said, you know what, this stuff would be good for the beginning. So I have my beginning intro stuff. I have a brief introduction of what content time blocking is. And then I go straight into 1, 2, 3. So here are the 3 things that I'm going to be focusing on in the content of this video. So it corresponds to step 2 over here, your content steps. And then you can say I have number 2, and then I have 2 things under 2 little bullet points under that and some notes. I'm definitely not always looking at this, and I'm just taking my brain dump and putting it in different places throughout. Sometimes if I really, really want to focus on something, I'll pause and I'll actually read verbatim, like you'll see tomorrow when I'm editing, I'll read verbatim some of this stuff. But for the most part, I just have, okay, number 2 is time blocking. What are the 2 key points under time blocking? Building time and managing time. Okay, great. So I talk about those, and then I can move on to step 3. And you see, I just have a couple of sentences here. And then I say, all those are the steps for mastering the one thing time blocking system. That's my closing sentence. That's it. That tells the viewer that we're done and we're ready to go to close the loop. And you see my close loop, 4 tips, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. Then I have my call to action. So that does it that's actually literally what all of my notes look like for the video. And so that's all you need for your content delivery. Spending the least amount of time on this, because this is mostly where your particular unique way of explaining things and your particular personality is going to shine through. This is definitely should be the part that's the least scripted, because this is where you really want to show that you know your stuff and you are the expert in whatever you are sharing. So finally, we have the close loop, and the close loop is essentially just delivering on the promise that you said in the beginning. So if you said, hey, here's one tip that you can avoid, spend 30 to 30 seconds to 90 seconds explaining why the tip is why the tip is so important and why you should avoid it. If it was, hey, 4 bonus tips like I'm doing in the example video, you saw I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I went straight to the call to action. So there's not a whole lot to do here. You're literally just delivering on what you promised or what you said they would learn at the beginning of the video. So that's it. That's all there is to it. And then finally, we have the call to action. And so the call to action is essentially saying, hey, if you have any questions, comment below. If you enjoyed the video, you got some value out of it, hit that like button, subscribe. If you have a specific question that you want people to respond to, go ahead and tell them that in the video. So you'll say, hey, comment below with your #1 question on SEO or the #1 thing you've had a problem with when figuring out how to implement time blocking in your busy schedule, or what are the challenges you faced with SEO. And then if you have a question like that you're asking people to comment on, make sure that you type that as your first comment to your video. So when you post your video, have that question as your comment and pin that comment for the first few days so people hear it in the video, and then when they go down to the comment section, it's there again in text, and then they have it's a very inviting way to get people to just actually ask questions and reply and respond. And the only other type of call to action you can have is a link, or you really should have, is a link click. And this you really only want to do every 3 to 5 videos. And this is because YouTube doesn't want people leaving YouTube, right? So if you want people to go click an affiliate link or opt in to your list, those are the 2 most common types of link clicks, well, YouTube is going to put that as a strike against you. It's not like your video is going to be totally demonetized and totally deranked. So it's not like it's going to, it's not like it's going to be totally deranked, but you want to do this every 3 to 5 videos, because if you do this on every video, it's going to hurt your long-term results on growth. So that does it for link clicks and calls to action. And that is really the entire process of writing your video. So again, the Aspire notebook has the majority of the stuff. There are, as you saw, there was some spelling, there's some spelling errors and mistakes in there. So definitely still working on that. And then of course, you can also get yesterday's content from the research phase in the Aspire notebook as well. So that does it for the content writing portion. If you have any questions, now is the time. Questions, please ask me now. Please ask me now. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to live, see if we have any questions there. And let's go back to the Aspire notebook. So here we go. And so in this particular new document, you're going to see all the video hook formulas, and they're also going to be in the let's go to the one that's not all messed up. You'll see here the live stream video will be there. You'll be able to download the content structure outline. You'll also be able to download all the hook formulas, and I'm still working on the headlines and other stuff, but by the time you're watching the replay of those videos, all of those will be in the Aspire notebook for you to copy and paste and use for your own videos. So make sure you go ahead and grab access to that. There's my call to action for this particular video. So now is the time to comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to go live here. And let's see if we've got 6. Looks like we got 6 people in here. So guys, go ahead. Please ask me some questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically directly related to the YouTube content creation process we had here. I'm really here to answer any questions you have. So go ahead and ask now. Questions, do you have any? Ask now. You can see you guys. Unless YouTube's lying to me. Okay. So let's go back. See if we get any questions here. So I'm going to hang out a little bit here. Just ask questions. If you're watching the replay, make sure you go ahead and check out the description for a table of contents so you can easily go back and see the different parts of the video that we went through. Again, they will all coincide with what you will be able to grab access to in the Aspire notebook. So go ahead now, ask me any questions you have. Oh, come on, guys. I even got questions on the first live stream. That's okay. That's okay. If there are no questions, we can go ahead and end it nice. Oh, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So I think that's it. If you guys don't have any questions for me, I'm going to go ahead and log off and save my voice. Really looking forward to more of you guys showing up. And hey, by the way, if you're here live now and you have a better time that you think would be helpful for these live streams, go ahead and drop those in the comments section as well. Just let me know where you're from and what time zone you're in, or what time it is for you right now, because I definitely want to do more of these for you guys in the future. And of course, the value comes from being able to answer your question. Okay, here we go. Finally, some brave souls. So thank you, Carlton Robbins. Where do you find these outlines? Okay, so for you guys, where you find all of these outlines, the Aspire notebook. So if you just head over to jasonwhaling.com, let me go ahead and share my screen really quickly here. jasonwhaling.com is where you'll be able to grab a copy of these. Let's go share. And so you can see, so jasonwhaling.com, go ahead, just name an email, and you'll get a link to the Aspire notebook here. And it will have all of these content outlines in there for you. I just don't put these links publicly because I don't want a million different people having access to them. I really just want it to be for subscribers and people who actually care about growing their channel. So you definitely won't get bombarded with too many emails from me. I pretty much just email once or twice a week about live streams and updates to this. And I also have sales funnel stuff in here for you guys as well. And let's see, hopefully that answers your question. There is a bit of a delay. So if you want to put together a sales funnel, I have a membership site, a bunch of membership site templates as well. Of course, it's loading really slow because I'm doing a live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and go back to the questions. So Carlton, let me know if that answered your question. And I do all of the outlines, everything you're seeing is proprietary. So it's stuff that I've come up with myself. So it's not like I'm copying and pasting these from someplace, which is why they're all in the Aspire notebook. And they're really based on everything that, I've learned and I've done. And the reason I put it in that notebook is because they're constantly being updated. Like I took you through the OneNote file today. That OneNote file, that's probably the 5th or 6th version. And of course, it's always going to be changing, which is why I use Google Docs to share everything. It's not in a PDF because these things aren't static, right? So Colin, thank you. Got you getting there now. Appreciate the video made. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Carlton. Yeah. So as always, you're welcome to the email you receive it from. You can always reply back with questions and let me know if anything's not working for you in the Aspire notebook. So thank you so much, Carlton. Let's see, music bangers. Can you help me with followers? If you could be a little more specific with followers for what? I'm assuming Instagram, since you didn't say subscribers. If you want to know a little bit more about Instagram and Instagram marketing in general, you can definitely go check out the channel because I have an entire playlist that walks through the basics of the Instagram content creation process. Depending upon how this live stream goes, okay, on Instagram. Yeah, okay, perfect. So depending upon how this live stream goes, I'll definitely be doing more on Instagram. But and again, for everyone else in here, go ahead, ask me questions. There's a huge delay, so go ahead and ask me questions now as I answer the Instagram question. So for Instagram, it's really one of the things you really want to keep in mind, and you can actually take a lot of the principles we applied here, is first you want to know who you're targeting and why you're targeting them. So there's really two types of content that I've seen that perform really well on Instagram. And so if you're looking at Instagram as kind of this side thing, like, oh yeah, I want to grow my Instagram account, but it's not your main social channel, then I would personally suggest quotes are the way to go. You can see my Instagram account is 100% automated. I really don't touch it. Like I pick up my phone every once in a while to hit like and reply to a couple comments, but for the most part, my team takes care of all of that content. So if it's kind of this side silo thing, and you're focusing on YouTube or Facebook as your main social channel, then researching hashtags around the types of inspirational quotes that your particular audience really gels with is definitely the way to go. And there are a lot of inspirational, quote post accounts that you can go check up. Off the top of my head, I think Founder is a really good one. And actually, while I'm talking, let me go ahead and head over to Instagram and just tell you a couple of really good accounts that do well with Instagram quotes. Now, the second type of content, if Instagram is going to be, so here we go. Let me go to my profile and see the ones that I am following, and I'll tell you right now. Obviously, I could say, "Hey, follow mine," but that's a little disingenuous. So yeah, so Founder. Oh man. Jeremy. So I'm just going to go ahead and post in. So if you look up, go to this guy's account. Here you go. Go to this guy's account and look at the hash. Look at his posts and look at similar posts, and you're going to find a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to find a lot of inspirational quote posts based upon the hashtags that he's using. So just go ahead and click on his hashtags, and you'll find a lot of inspirational quote examples. Again, guys, go ahead and ask questions because I'm almost done with answering this Instagram question. I'm taking a super long time to answer it, but let me know. Let me know, Music, if this is answering your question. If it's your main focus, like Instagram's going to be what you're going to be focusing on, then you'll really. I'm not the best person to answer the question for that because I am not all in on Instagram in terms of really focusing on marketing myself. There is a fellow YouTuber that I follow, driven. So I'll send you a link to his. Actually, I'll send you a link to his channel. Give me a second here, because if Instagram is going to be like your main social channel, then there's a lot. You're going to want to think of it as a vlog via pictures is essentially what you're going to be doing. And since I personally don't do that. I mean, I'm wiped when just doing YouTube. Driven my goal. This is a fellow YouTuber and buddy of mine who is actually really focusing on Instagram content. And so I'm going to shoot you his, there we go. Here's his URL. So you can go ahead, check him out, and bam, there you go. Okay, perfect. So I hope that answers your question, Music. If it didn't, go ahead and let me know. So the first link is if Instagram's just kind of the side thing and you want to figure out what's the whole inspirational quote thing, check out that channel and Founder. If you want to have it be your main focus, like how you're going to develop an audience and a relationship, and you're going to be in front of the camera, or you're at least going to be showing kind of behind the scenes of what you do with your music, then go ahead and check out that second link as a inspiration and check out his channel. And he actually has a service that helps you grow your account as well. So let me know if that answered your question. Okay, Carlton, I'm trying to create and start an online fitness business for the 40+ niche. Is it necessary to create videos to build my following? I would say, so Carlton, I would say yes. Go ahead and let me know if what your main social channel is or what your main traffic source is going to be. And I can better answer your question. I know there's going to be huge delay there. So go ahead and let me know while I'm talking. So 40+ niche, if I'm going to assume that you're going to be building a channel, in which case I would say yes. Creating videos to build your following, I think, is an excellent way to go. And there's really two different types of videos that I would suggest looking at and going after. So the first type would be kind of what we were talking about here in this live stream, and that is content videos. So if you're, let's see, it's the fitness fitness niche. So I'm assuming it's fitness, or if it's fitness and health, you'd be a little more specific. Then I can do more specific examples for you, but let's just say fitness. Then creating videos, essentially creating videos that are just targeted for the 40 plus. And in the formula that I actually went over in this video, where you had chances to call out your audience, I would really focus on calling out your audience, especially if you're in that audience. It'll be a lot easier if you're in that audience. For your content videos, if you make like, let's say you make a video workout routine for 40 plus year olds, and then if you choose different both health and fitness. Okay, perfect. Both health and fitness, assuming I'm right on the YouTube thing. Okay, perfect. So if for your content videos, like here's an example of what you could do. What I would do is I would focus and start on problems that the 40 plus year old market has. I'm not a part of that market. I'm assuming you understand and know that market. So if you, like, let's say you want to make a workout video about biceps, for whatever reason. So if you have a video that is about how to do workouts for biceps and in your video title, I would identify people, say like 40 plus. You could either have it as a series and say 40 plus workout series, or if you're over 40 in parentheses, like I showed in the examples when you're calling out your audience. And then in the opening of your hooks, say, hey, this is designed for if you want to grow your biceps and you're over 40 or you're past 40 and you're dealing with XYZ problem. I think identifying the problems that, and I'm just making a huge leap, right? You could tell me if I'm wrong. Identifying the specific problems that people have over 40 when it comes to working out specifically, I think would be a great way to grow an audience, because you're speaking directly to that problem. As someone who watches other fitness channels, I know there are most of the fitness channels out there really don't talk to people over 40. And I know if you focus on the unique problems that people over 40 have when it comes to working out, then I think you're going to have a really good shot of growing an audience. If you're part of that over 40 market, go ahead and let me know if you are, then I would suggest at least once or twice a week doing a vlog where you talk about something around that's changed in your diet or that's changed in your workout routine. So you begin to develop that relationship really early on, because those content style videos, like what I just talked about, is really going to help your channel, really going to help in terms of bringing new people in and ranking. And then that vlog style is really going to help actually develop a relationship with the audience. And that's really how you're going to build. Yes, you're 42. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'd highly recommend starting off, depending on how much time you have, starting off with those content rich videos, kind of going through the process that we're doing on these live streams, and really focus on that over 40 market. And in your hooks, always say for over 40. And in your titles, always integrate something that says over 40, so you can really just scream at the top of your lungs exactly who you're targeting. Because you definitely don't want to go after, guys like me, although I'm pretty sure that your workout videos would be helpful as well, because I deal with a lot of health issues thanks to, track and knee injuries and hamstring tears. So I'm pretty sure that's just doubled by, the time you got into your age, because, young idiots like me don't take advantage of all of the benefits of a younger body and actually taking care of our bodies on the outset. So I hope that was helpful. Again, to sum that up, guys, let me know if you have any other questions here. Thank you so much, Carlton and Music, for asking questions. If anyone else is here, you have questions, let me know. So just to wrap up, the answer to your question, Carlton, is definitely in terms of a content plan, I would suggest doing if you can, 2 to 3 content videos a week that are specifically like one on fitness, one on health, and then maybe alternate between fitness and health. And I say alternate between those kind of 2 pillars is because you want to figure out which types of videos are really going to connect with that audience that you're going after. I don't know, and you probably don't know, if the health videos or the fitness videos are going to do the best. If there's a third big category, then maybe that could be your third one. Or if you only have time to do 3 videos a week, then do a fitness one, a nutrition one, and then a vlog style one. So you can look up how to do a week-long vlog, or you just do a vlog where, I just sit in front of, maybe you do a vlog in a gym, or you do a vlog while you're doing some routine, or you're going through a process that you didn't do before you were 40. Very helpful. Appreciate it. Good content in these live streams. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So just play around with that vlog content, really focusing on just developing a relationship and talking about things that you've personally experienced and have personally changed for you, going through 40. So thank you so much, Carlton. Awesome to see that was helpful. I sincerely hope that was helpful. Hope to see you on more of these. And as always, go ahead and continue to, ask me questions on the coming live streams or just in the comment section as you go through growing your channel. I wish you the best of luck growing that channel. So, okay, let me scroll through these comments to make sure I didn't miss anything. It's not like there's a ton here today. Grab Talk Media, thank you. So thank you, Grab Talk Media, for joining. Carlton Music. All right. Let's see how many people we have left on the live stream. So, okay. So it looks like I've answered the questions of everybody that's here. I'm going to stall an extra 30 seconds. So if you have any last minute questions, I will be back tomorrow, but I prefer if you ask me the question now. I'm going to take a swig here because my voice is dead. I've been talking for an hour straight. Okay. Let's see if we have any other questions here. So it looks like we are good to go. Okay. Well, that does it for this live stream. So thank you all so much for jumping on. Wait, one more? Nope. It said it was typing. Okay, so yeah, so thank you so much to all of you guys for joining me on this live stream. Again, if you're watching the on-demand or the replay, there will be a table of contents in the description. It will take me a couple of days to get that up and running, but once that's there, you'll be able to jump through the video. Again, the Aspire Notebook has everything we talked about, and I will be updating that with notes. And to all of you who asked questions and came to the live stream, thank you so much. Your support means the world, especially, doing these live streams and only having a couple of you guys on. I really hope that we could all look back on this in a year or two and just kind of laugh at how, small this started. So as always, let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and you know what to do. I should actually keep building the business you love. Take care.